Hey everybody, it's WarriorExo back with another video finally. Today I'm going to be talking about the current PTR changes. Now I've never been so hugely into the PTR. I've actually never been into most PTRs in general, but I've decided that I'm going to try to get into them more so I can give you guys more of my experience with them, especially since competitive play is going to be down for a while. As they stated, Season 2 is not going to be coming for quite a bit of time, because they want to make sure they fix as many things as possible. So far, these are the changes that they have posted with competitive play. The first and probably one of the most important that I see is they're finally changing the ranking system from being the 1 to 100 to 1 to 5,000, which is dramatically different. Like, that finally gives you sway on how good you are, really. Because before, the difference between 50 and 55 or 60 and 65 was insane. Like, you would look at a 45 ranked player, and as a 50 ranked player you might look at them like, oh my god, like, I know what the 45 rank is like. And the difference is insane. Now they're finally going to have these ranks kind of have more elasticity. It's going to have more of a meaning. Like, it no longer will it be 45 is like hugely different from 50. Now it'll be literally like 1500 is hugely different from 2000, which I feel is an accurate comparison. Basically, we're going to be having something a lot more similar to League of Legends. I believe CSGO has something similar, in Call of Duty. All of them, I think, as well, StarCraft has this. But it's everything from Bronze to Diamond to Master and then Grandmaster. Starting from 1 all the way up to 1500 will be Bronze. Then at 1500, you hit Silver. At 2000, you hit Gold. 2500, you hit Platinum. 3000, you hit Diamond. 3500, you hit Master. And 4000 to 5000 is the Grandmaster spot. Probably where the top 500 are mostly gonna lie. Now, one thing is, Diamond and lower, very similar again to something in League of Legends, will not drop below their tier. So basically, you're safe. Once you pass that threshold from Bronze to Silver, according to the patch notes, you're in the safe zone. You won't drop below Silver. This goes up until Diamond. But once you go up to the Master and Grandmaster, you can drop down to the limit of the 3000 for Diamond. So Master and Grandmaster aren't a safe zone, but hitting Diamond is. Another thing they've added in is Decay. Again, another system very similar to League of Legends and stuff. I'm sorry if I compare this a lot to League. I played League since the closed beta, so that's one of my main things I drive competitive numbers through. It starts after 1 week and you start decaying every day. Now, it only takes 1 game to stop this. Another thing they're going to be doing is moving it so that you will be gaining 10 competitive points. Now, before you start freaking out and say, oh my gosh, it only takes 30 games to get a gold weapon, I'm going to get all the gold weapons in like a week. No, they're going to be increasing the gold weapon cost to 3,000 as well, literally just increasing a 0 at the end of all of it. The reasoning for this is because now there's going to be a draw system where basically when you usually had a problem where, you know, both of you couldn't capture the first point and it went to a coin flip, now they're going to be basing it on distance, and if it really comes down to the point where you both didn't touch the point, because time, it's going to be almost impossible to like make it even. If you literally don't touch the points, it'll go to a draw and you'll both get 5 points each. Now, you do have to at least win 50 games to be in the top 500, so you cannot, you know, just jump in and hit top 500 because you happen to place like in Platinum, or I don't know how the placements are going to be. I don't know what the top placement rank is going to be. We won't really know that until it comes out. That we will have no idea. But basically, you will have to play at least 50 games to hit that top 500 at some point in the season and get that mark. You're going to see a lot of people grinding to that 50 because people are going to want that 50 rank. They're going to want that so they can get the top 500 and get all those sweet, sweet bragging rights. Now, boosting will basically be gone. Now, if you haven't heard about it, there has been a lot of issues with boosting when it comes between ranks of, like, some dude at like a rank 30 or 40 playing with the rank 70, so they only fight like 55s or 60s, and the rank 70 basically can keep going up because they'll always be the underdog. And as you know, underdogs lose very little, gain a lot. This was a system people were abusing to get themselves higher and higher in rank. That has been removed. No longer can you queue with somebody with a 500 rank distance. And basically, for an idea, that means that like a gold won't be able to queue with like a platinum to an extent. So if you're like mid gold, you can only queue up with somebody who's like about mid platinum. It's very similar again to League of Legends, where they have the one ranking system down. Like gold can rank with silver of the same level-ish, but gold can't go with bronze. You know, gold can't go with master or diamond. You're gonna, as much as it is fun to play with your friends are gonna have to stay somewhat near you in rank. This right here is gonna mean that you need to get a team even more important. Like getting a team and a group of friends can be even more important, because if anybody around you starts passing you, you're gonna lose out on queuing with them. You need to make sure you guys have a schedule for this stuff. If they pass you too quickly, you're gonna be out a teammate. The next important thing are the character changes. That's the changes to competitive. I believe I covered absolutely everything. Please put in the comment if I forgot something. I'm really sorry. I'm very certain I did not, though. Here are the character changes. This should be relatively quick. There are only so many changes, but they are dramatic. Alright, so in general, they made it so ultimate meters go down much faster. Basically, if you've ever gotten Bastion tank mode or any of the transformation modes, you would originally start lowering your meter. Your meter would go down, and if you died instantly, you know, you'd keep wherever it landed. So the point was that, like, if Bastion didn't even get a chance to use his ultimate, he'll have it back afterwards. But they made it so it's now literally 4 times faster it burns. So you have to be more precise about your ultimates, guys. You cannot just throw them out there. You need to be even more precise than you were before. And the more important change, which the first one's kind of a big deal, second one even more of a big deal. They reverted the change to hero projectiles. Our Lord and Savior Hanzo is back, shooting literal trucks at people. So if you were finally happy that you weren't being sniped from behind a wall, I'm sorry, you're sad again, because Mei, Hanzo, etc. are all going to be sniping you from behind the wall. So one of the things they commented on this is that they're going to try to tweak things more specifically as they see it, because the overall change, they said, it was like too dramatic, which I can understand, because Mei and other characters got hit when they really didn't need to. Hanzo is the main target, but they also tweaked Hanzo's box and a couple of other things, so we're gonna see. I've heard of people like Siegel doing stupidly good with Hanzo currently, so I'm gonna be kind of happy to see that, though, since I felt bad seeing Hanzo really out of the meta, and he is a pretty skillful character, so we're gonna see where he lands. But that's the big character I thought of when I saw that. Diva, her defense matrix, which everyone has complained about. I hate it too, where, you know, you just see them spamming it on and off. It'll now have a 1-second delay instead of a half-second delay. So you will have more of an opening to punish her for putting her matrix down. 0.5 seconds is a huge amount of time to just get in there and get the kill. That is more damage you can deal to her. That is much quicker to shut her down. It'll make toggling a lot harder, which is what a lot of the best divas were doing. They were doing a lot of toggling. They were turning it off on to mess with people. Now they actually have to wait to do it. Hanzo, other than the change to the projectiles, he now experiences a 30% decrease in speed while aiming instead of 40, which means that before, when you started aiming, you slowed down a little bit. Now you're walking a little faster. You're able to literally, like, you know, you can kind of get more of that movement while you're shooting people going on. Make him a little bit better for kiting. This change is pretty good, not the biggest one, but what's even better, his maximum projectile speed has been increased by 30%, which means his arrows are even faster, so their hitboxes are just as crazy as they used to be, and now they hit faster. Hanzo is insane. I cannot wait to do some PTR testing. That's what the video you're going to be watching right now is going to be, some PTR. Finally set myself up for it. Well, I mean, I think anyone can join it right now, so definitely get in on that. If you don't know how, you can literally type in PTR, and on Blizzard they will tell you. That's really simple. I think anyone can get in the PTR currently. Definitely try it out, especially while, you know, we're in between seasons, and it really you don't have competitive play to do, so why not try it out on there? Help them give feedback. We need to help them make this game great. Help make Overwatch great again. Alright, for Mei, her Blizzard did what they said it was going to do. Now it'll pierce barriers. If you're saying, what? It hit the ground? No. When Mei throws her ultimate, it technically shoots the ice outwards from the ultimate. So you would have things like Winston and Reinhardt able to stop it. A lot of me and my friends didn't even notice this until we saw, like, them talking about this, and we actually realized. And the radius is increased, so now Reinhardt can't put his shield up against it. Winston's shield won't affect it. I don't know about Zarya. That would be crazy if it affects Zarya, because Zarya is supposed to be able to block everything. That's like her thing. So if it doesn't block, if it does go through Zarya's shield, that might be something people pick up to counter Zarya. I'm not certain. But yes, the radius has been increased to 10 meters, meaning it's bigger and it now pierces shield. So we'll have to see how it fares. We'll have to see if it's really going to be as good as some other ultimates. I don't know. I still think it's going to probably be somewhat mediocre, but maybe she'll get some picks. McCree, Deadeye, now drains over 0.25 second period. So it kind of follows the same rule as Bastions and everything now. Instead of, you know, just you literally hold it until it runs out and you have 50% left. Originally, McCree would just be able to spam his ultimate as he wanted to whenever it got to 100 to clear the way. People would all hide. It would come back at 50% if he didn't, you know, pull the trigger. So it was a good way to get people to move out of the way and kind of, you know, mess with the battlefield, separate people a little bit, cause chaos. Now, not so much. Now, it's going to be just like draining down and you're going to have to use it. Mercy. This is amazing. I love Mercy. She is my favorite support to play other than Ana. Ana's for fun, Mercy's for serious. They made it so her healing is now increased by 20%. I want the increase. I want her healing to be better. I am really happy they're going to put it in. I don't know if it's a typo and it's healing per second increased by 20 or by 20%. If it's 20% and I believe it was 50, then it's going to be up to 60, which that's going to be great. Hope I did that math right. That's going to be amazing. I will take 60 heal per second. I've been talking to my friends about how that's what they need to do. They didn't agree with me, but apparently Blizzard does. And a Resurrect, now you will be able to move quicker after the ulti. Originally, there was 3 seconds after you came to life before you, like, officially, it was 3 seconds. Now it's 2.25, so you can move around quicker. People will have less time to line up your death. That was my main complaint. 3 seconds is a lot of time for people to go, alright, I'm going to throw my Mei ult or my Hanzo ult or my whatever, or have my Reinhardt ult ready. They'll already kill you the moment you come back, because you've already killed the Mercy for rezzing them, and now you're going to kill them immediately after. This also gives them more time to protect Mercy. Very happy. I can't wait for this to come out. I'm going to be playing a lot of Mercy on that PTR. Genji. His double jump no longer resets when climbing walls. I feel like he needed this because Genji was too mobile sometimes. Like, there was nothing you could do half the time because he would just be jumping everywhere, flying everywhere, and it was almost headache-inducing. His dash basically no longer destroys Widowmaker's Mine or Junkrat's Trap, and it will actually still trigger. It will now trigger Junkrat's Trap. Originally, it would go over it and kill it and not trigger it. Now, if you set down a trap and Genji dashes past it, it will stick him. So Junkrat will now have a way to take out Genji better. It's not a lot better, but it's definitely better. That's kind of a buff to Junkrat. His Swift Strike no longer interrupts quick melee attacks. This means that no longer will you be able to do the fan, I believe it's fan melee dash combo. So that is gone. Completely gone. You'll of course be able to do, you know, like any other time, you'll be able to shoot and melee right after. So it will reset his fan, but no longer can you use the Swift Strike or his dash to interrupt that. So you lost your gigantic damage combo. Unfortunate for him, but people were complaining a lot about him, and these seem to be the nerfs that people were wanting, maybe. Also, his ultimate is now 2 seconds shorter. It went from 8 seconds to 6 seconds. That is very significant. I have so many times died to the last, like, second, if not less, of Genji's ultimate. His ultimate was one of the best in the game, and I felt like he kind of needed this. I mean, as he was one of the only characters that literally was able to climb the ladder solo if you were insanely good with him. Almost no other character could do that. But this will hopefully put him in a place where he's actually still good, but not so 1v6 good. Lucio got nerfed, which nobody actually saw that coming. Honestly, they've been touching him at all. His boost, basically his movement speed, instead of being a 100%, now goes to 70%. Originally, when he amped it up, his speed boost, it went to 100% increased move speed, that super speed you reached. It's now 70%. It's now a little bit slower. That's pretty significant. I don't know if they're going to keep that. They probably will. I think Lucio will still be in the meta because his ultimate is crazy, and that even 70% increased move speed is enough. Like, it's a lot. But hopefully this gives a little bit more love to Mercy and Zenyatta. Well, Zenyatta didn't need more love, but it'll give more love to more healers to actually have a chance. Lucio will probably always be a staple, though, honestly. Roadhog got a buff. His chain hook Now if the hook target is in Roadhog's line of sight when retracting the hook, they will be moved back to the position where they were originally hooked. This is infuriating. So if you've ever walked to the right and gone behind a wall and, you know, it somehow magically grabbed you anyways, which might I add, they're buffing projectile hitboxes again, so he's going to be pulling you through walls again. Now instead of just pulling you against the wall and eventually through the doorway, where the wall can kind of give you some time and some hope, you will immediately teleport in front of the doorway and be pulled. Basically making the whole favor the shooter thing crazy. So his chain hook's going to be even easier to land and get kills with. Zenyatta is actually getting a nerf. His Orb of Discord is actually going to be going down to 30% increased damage. That means that no longer will you be able to like insta-kill a lot of characters. You're still going to be burning them down pretty quickly, but this makes Mercy also more relevant because people would always argue, why get 30%, why boost up with Mercy's Rod when you can get the 50% increase on the one key target with Orb of Discord? Now the math kind of shows that the Mercy might be more viable with her boost. We'll see. I think that he's still going to be meta just because of how quick he throws stuff out. But hopefully this means that him and Mercy are kind of on the same level, because I miss them being on the same level. The Orb of Destruction, aka his main fire, is now at 46 from 40, so he actually does a little more damage. That's honestly really good. I'm surprised they did that because I believe they just lowered his damage prior. So yeah, now Zenyatta has a nerf and then a slight buff to his soloing capability. So that's good. That's about it for the PTR notes. The PTR is more public now. Guys can jump in. You know, if you want to hang out with me, hit me up. I'm probably gonna, I think it'll still be WarriorExo on there. I always keep my Battlenet down below, so definitely add me if you want to play some games. So I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. That was mostly just informational. I don't give a lot of my opinion. Actually, I probably did without realizing it. But I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna try to do a schedule from now on. Now this video obviously doesn't coincide with that schedule, as you can probably tell from the date on it, but I'm going to try to do it every Saturday and Tuesday, no specific time, but I really want to do more YouTube videos, and the way you guys are responding to my videos is blowing my mind. So I'm going to try to pull off a Tuesday and Saturday YouTube video every time. I'll probably put some in the middle of the week, but I want to just at least set a small schedule so I can stick by it, and the more and more I get positive feedback, I'll put in more days. I need to put more time into streaming as well. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like button, subscribe, share it with your friends if they don't know what's happening on the PTR. And I will see you all in the next video. And also, don't forget to tell me if I did something wrong. If there's something wrong with this video, please let me know. Please don't leave me hanging. If I get like 30% dislikes, I want to know why. Alright, I'll see you guys later though.